This novel is titled, Captured by the Mafia Lord. Chapter 1. The Varnishing. Asa's POV. The sharp scent of sweat, leather, and fear hits me before I even see the gun. Cold metal presses against my temple. My breath catches, stuttering in my throat. The barrel is icy, almost shocking, like it's draining every drop of warmth from my body. My chest tightens until it aches. My pulse pounds against my skin, too loud, too wild, as if the whole street can hear it. My body locks tight. Muscles trained for years to leap and spin on command are suddenly useless. On stage, I'd learned to move under pressure, to let adrenaline drive me higher, but nothing, no spotlight, no critic stare, has ever paralyzed me like this moment. Don't scream. The voice is low.
Calm.
And calm is worse than rage. Rage makes mistakes. Calm men kill without blinking. The gunman's wrist is inked with something dark, curling up his arm, but I don't dare look long enough to know what it is. My bag slips from my fingers. My pointe shoes spill across the cracked sidewalk. The sight cuts deeper than the gun at my head. Frayed ribbons, satin dulled from practice, the faint smudge of rosin still clinging to the tips. 3 days from now, they were supposed to carry me into the most important audition of my life. 3 days from freedom, from everything I'd worked for since I could walk. Now they lie scattered in the dirt like trash, mocking me. I can still hear my instructor's voice in my head. Perfection is in the details, Asa. You must live inside the movement. Those shoes were my future, my escape. The way I would prove to everyone that a girl with nothing but stubborn feet and stubborn dreams could rise. And now, satin dreams in the gutter, a gun at my head, and strangers who smell like blood and smoke breathing down my neck. The street is empty except for us. Flickering streetlights buzz overhead, casting fractured shadows that stretch across broken pavement. Somewhere far away, a dog barks. A car horn blares and fades. Life goes on while mine has stopped. A van glides to the curb, silent, purposeful, as if this moment had been rehearsed 100 times. One man keeps the gun steady against my temple, while another slides open the back door. The sound of it, smooth metal rolling on its track, feels like a curtain falling at the end of a show. This is a mistake, I whisper, voice barely audible, shaking so badly I can hardly form words. I'm not. A blow slams into my ribs. Pain bursts hot, ripping my breath from my lungs. Get in. I stumble forward, knees scraping hard against the pavement. My body moves even as my mind screams to run. Every instinct begs me to fight, to claw, to scream, but when I look up into the gunman's eyes, I know it's useless. Empty, cold, calculating. The eyes of a man who wouldn't hesitate. Iron hands clamp my arms and shove me inside. In the struggle, my bag had spilled onto the pavement, and I caught a glimpse of my phone skittering across the ground, before one of the men snatched it and tossed it carelessly into the van with me. The van door slams shut with brutal finality.
Darkness swallows me.
The air reeks of oil, rust, and sweat. It clings thick in my nose, choking me. I grope blindly along the walls, searching for a latch, a crack, anything. Nothing. No windows, no escape. Just the steady hum of the engine and the grinding of tires over asphalt. Panic surges, hot and choking. My chest tightens. Breaths come shallow, too fast. My palms are slick, trembling so badly I can barely keep them pressed to the walls. It feels like the dark itself is pressing against me, squeezing the air from my lungs. Backstage blackouts never scared me. But this is suffocation. Tears sting, but I force them back. Crying won't save me. I curl my knees to my chest, hugging them close, rocking in the dark. My mind races in spirals, searching for logic, for reason, for some explanation. Why me? I'd left the studio late, sweat cooling on my skin, still hearing music in my bones. I'd walked this street 100 times before. No one cared. No one looked twice at me. I was invisible. So why now? Why night? The van jerks, turning sharply. My shoulder slams into the steel wall. I bite back a sob. I squeeze my eyes shut, and a memory flickers. The studio's mirrored walls. My reflection spinning, breathless, chasing perfection. Michael's voice floating from the corner. Again, Asa. You've got this. His hands clapping when I landed a perfect pirouette. His smile, so wide I believed I could conquer the world. Michael. My chest twists. As if summoned by the thought, a voice drifts from the front of the van. Muffled, low. Boss wants her alive. Michael says she's clean. Untraceable. Clean? Like I was dirt to be inspected? Like I could ever matter in their world. The world tilts sideways. Michael. The name slices through me. Michael. My safe place. The boy who taped my ankles after brutal rehearsals. Who brushed my hair back when I cried from exhaustion. Who swore I'd dance in Paris one day. Relief crashes through me so fast I nearly collapse. He knows. He must be helping me.
But how?
Why would these men listen to him? Confusion collides with hope, twisting sharp in my chest. My body shakes in terror, but my heart leaps toward him anyway. I cling to the thought of his hands holding mine, his smile when I stumbled, the warmth of his voice when he whispered, "Trust me." The second man's voice cuts, harder. Doesn't matter. The Lord will decide. She belongs to him now. The words slam into me harder than the butt of the gun. Belongs. Like I'm property. Like I've already been handed over. My throat closes. Images rush unbidden. Cages, collars, clipped wings. The stage lights I once dreamed of replaced with darkness. My body, my life, no longer mine. I press my forehead to the freezing steel wall, heart thundering, whispering to myself like a prayer, like a spell. Michael knows where I am. Michael will save me. He has to. But the word belongs won't leave. It echoes in my skull, dark and heavy, curling cold fingers around my spine. Relief and terror coiled together in my chest, a cruel knot I can't untangle. What if he can't? Chapter 2: The Ballerina and the Beast. Asa's POV. I wake to the sharp taste of copper in my mouth. My ribs throb where the gun struck me, a deep ache that blooms hotter each time I breathe. For a heartbeat, I don't know if I'm alive or dead. Then silk sheets. My hands clutch them, trembling. Smooth as water, cool as skin. This isn't my bed. The mattress swallows me whole, softer than clouds. Above me, a chandelier glitters like a cage of fire, casting sparks of gold across the ceiling. Velvet curtains seal the windows, shutting out the city. Even the air feels expensive. Cologne, smoke, leather, something dark underneath. I sit up too fast. Pain slices through my side. My breath catches. Where am I? The van. The voices. Michael's name. Michael. My chest squeezes until it hurts. If he knows where I am, he'll come.
He has to.
I slide off the bed. My bare feet sink into a carpet so thick it muffles sound. Every detail of the room feels like a stage set designed for intimidation. The heavy furniture, the polished brass, the faint tick of an unseen clock. I move toward the door, but it creaks open before I touch it. I flinch back, heart in my throat. A man steps inside.
Tall.
Dark suit. Black eyes that pin me where I stand. Lorenzo De Luca. The name alone is poison. Everyone in New York whispers it. Mafia lord. Untouchable. Ruthless. And damn it, unfairly handsome. The kind of sharp-edged beauty that should belong on a magazine cover, not standing in a room where he decides who lives or dies. The kind of man whose enemies vanish and whose allies don't sleep well. And now he's standing over me. His gaze drags across me like a blade. My face, my tangled hair, the thin tank top I slept in. Calculation. Measuring whether to crush me or keep me. Who sent you? His voice is low, Italian vowels curling like smoke, smooth and dangerous at once. No one, I whisper. I don't even know why I'm here. He tilts his head, studying me like a cat studies a mouse. Packages don't land on doorsteps by accident. My blood runs cold. The shoes. The box. The strange items. Michael's voice. Mail it back, Asa. Don't ask questions. I don't know what you're talking about, I choke.
My throat is dry.
He crouches in front of me, moving with a predator's grace. My pulse hammers so hard it hurts. His fingers grip my chin, tilting my face until I'm forced to look into his eyes. His touch is rough, unyielding, but not cruel like a craftsman testing the strength of material. Lies are useless here, ballerina. The word burns coming from him. Ballerina. How does he know? For a second, a flicker of my old life cuts through the terror. Rehearsals, mirrors, music. Michael clapping in the corner. My instructor shouting corrections. A stage that smelled of dust and dreams. Tears sting, but I don't let them fall. I'm not lying. His thumb presses against my jaw, slow, deliberate. Not gentle, not cruel, testing me like a predator sniffing weakness.
Fear.
Anger. A dangerous heat curls low in my stomach. I hate it. I hate him. But a tiny part of me, the part that still a performer registers the way he moves, the power coiled under his calm. It's terrifying. It's magnetic. His eyes narrow, unreadable. Then he straightens, towering over me. Get dressed, he says. You'll eat with me. The order lands like a slap. My stomach growls in betrayal. Hunger tears at me, but pride locks my throat. I'm not hungry. For a moment, silence. His expression doesn't shift. Then a ghost of a smile touches his lips, cold and sharp. Everyone is hungry, he says softly. One way or another. His gaze lingers half a second too long, as if he can't decide whether I'm a threat or something else entirely. The words crawl over my skin. Can a prisoner use the bathroom, or am I to pee on myself? The words slip out sharper than I intend, a shaky smirk tugging at my lips. He turns, calling over his shoulder. Lock her up when she's done. 2 guards step into the doorway, shadows with guns. One has a snake tattoo curling up his wrist, black ink on olive skin. Their eyes rake over me like I'm already property. As they wait, I hear one mutter, just loud enough, maybe deliberately. Nobody walks in and out of this house alive. Why's boss keeping her? My throat tightens. The thought of escaping flickers through me, reckless and desperate, but it dies just as quickly. I know how hopeless it is. I shove past them, slamming the bathroom door. My reflection stares back from the mirror, pale, wild-eyed, ribs bruised purple. I barely look like me. I splash cold water over my face, gripping the sink until my knuckles ache. Drops run down my neck, soaking the thin fabric of my tank top. The bruises on my ribs pulse under my fingers. I press harder, like pain can anchor me. This isn't the girl in the leotard who once twirled beneath bright lights. This is someone broken, trapped in velvet walls. I can't break. Not here. Not in front of him. But behind my eyes, memories flicker. Michael's sitting on the studio floor, untying my point shoes, rubbing my swollen ankles. Michael's saying, "Trust me." Michael telling me to mail the package, not to ask questions. When I step out, the guards are waiting. They don't speak. They don't need to. Their presence is a language of its own, silent, armed, absolute. They hurry me back into the bedroom. The lock clicks. Alone. My chest heaves. My body shakes. The room feels like a velvet-wrapped trap. On the dresser, something glows. My phone. I lunge for it, fingers trembling. The screen was spiderwebbed with cracks, the glass splintering lights so badly I could barely make out the words, and every swipe froze like the phone was half dead. But one notification pulsed in the dark. A text. From Michael. Don't fight them. Do exactly what he says. Trust me. Relief floods me so fast my knees buckle. He knows. He's helping. He has to. But the words replay in my head, over and over, twisting tighter every time. Do exactly what he says. Michael's voice in the studio. Michael's hand on my ankle. Michael telling me to mail the package. Michael's name on the lips of the men who kidnapped me. My breath hitches. Is Michael telling me how to survive, or is he the reason I need to? Chapter 3. The Devil's Waltz. Asa's POV. The gown suffocates me. Silk cinches my ribs, pressing into bruises until every breath scrapes raw. The zipper bites like claws at my spine. Too tight, I rasp. The maid doesn't look at me. Her hands move fast, practiced. You'll wear what Mr. DeLuca ordered. My throat burns. I was supposed to be at rehearsal today. On point. Stretching. Preparing for the audition that could have saved my life. Instead, I'm being dressed like someone's doll. The fabric gleams in the mirror. Emerald silk, slit high, neckline cut low. My reflection looks like a stranger. My hair twisted into waves, makeup painting shadows where fear clings. The guards outside the door don't let me linger. They grip my arms and drag me through the corridors until the scent of champagne and perfume hits me. When we enter the grand hall, voices hush. Dozens of glittering guests turn to stare. Diamonds glitter on throats. Champagne sparkles in crystal flutes. Music swells from a live quartet on a raised platform, strings quivering beneath velvet lights. And every single eye slices into me. A sick realization twists in my gut. Was I a trophy to show off? A warning to his enemies? Or bait, dangling in plain sight, waiting for whoever wanted me taken? Whispers ripple like knives. Who is she? The ballerina pet. Boss finally broke his vow. A woman draped in sapphires hides her smile behind a fan. A man with slicked hair smirks over his flute, eyes gleaming with curiosity. Heat floods my cheeks. Lorenzo waits at the bottom of the staircase. Dark suit, tie loose at the throat, eyes black as sin. The crowd parts as I'm shoved toward him. He takes my hand. Cold, deliberate. His lips brush my skin. Mockery, not tenderness. She's mine, he says. The words ripple through the room. A murmur of curiosity.
Envy.
Approval.
Fear.
I want to scream, it's not true. That I don't belong here. But his grip tightens, warning me. Smile, he murmurs. I won't. His mouth curves, cruel amusement sparking in his eyes. But there's something else too. A flicker, a glint, the barest hesitation as his gaze lingers. Curious. Almost hungry. Then dance. Before I can resist, he pulls me into a waltz. The crowd shifts to make space, a living circle of glitter and silk. Music swells louder, drowning my pulse. My body betrays me. Years of ballet training take over. Pointed toes, perfect turns, graceful lines. The steps slot into my bones as if they've been waiting. My muscles obey even as my mind screams. Gasps follow us. I want to fight, to bite, to claw, to make a scene that would shatter his control. But my body flows, traitorous, as if I belong in his arms. Every spin is a chain, every dip a shackle. I'm not his. I can't be his. You move like fire, he says against my ear. His hand presses low on my back, heat burning through the silk. No wonder they wanted you delivered alive. My breath hitches. What do you mean? He only smirks, spinning me harder, the motion dizzying. Trapping me. Every eye here knows you're mine now. The words cut deeper than his hold. You're a monster. I snap, louder than I meant. Gasps ripple through the guests like a shockwave. Lorenzo only laughs.
Dark.
Dangerous. Delighted. And you're bold. I like that. His grip tightens, forcing me through the final spin. My ribs scream, my vision blurs, but somehow I land the last step. Applause erupts as the song ends. My legs tremble, fury and shame tangled in my chest. Before I can pull away, thunder cracks through the night. The chandeliers tremble. Glass rains down in glittering shards. Screams slice the music. The mansion gates explode outward, the sound ripping through marble and silk. Guards roar commands, drawing weapons. Guests scatter, diamonds flashing as they scramble for cover. The quartet crashes to a halt, bows screeching across strings. I freeze, pulse hammering. Through the chaos, through smoke curling from the gates, through the rain of broken glass, I see a figure breaking through. Broad shoulders, the tilt of his head, the way he moves, deliberate, almost too calm for the chaos around him. My stomach lurches. It can't be.
No.
The man cuts through the smoke like a blade, and for a moment, in the flicker of firelight, I swear I see his face. Michael. My lips shape his name before I can stop them. Michael. I whisper. A gunshot splits the air. The world tilts. Guests scream louder, bodies slamming into me as they flee. My ears ring, and all I can think, over the thunder of chaos, is his name, Michael, as the night shatters. Chapter 4: The Pawn. Asa's POV. The world explodes into chaos. Then silence. When I wake, I'm sprawled on cold marble. My head throbs. My ribs ache. The glittering hall is gone. No music, no lights, no applause. Just darkness and the faint smell of ash. Something burns into my wrists.
Chains.
Iron cuffs bite deep, pinning my hands behind me. Every tug scrapes skin raw. I drag myself upright, vision swimming. My cheek presses against rough stone instead of polished floor. I'm in a different room now. Bare walls, iron bars crisscrossing the single high window. No velvet, no chandeliers. Just cold. A prison inside the mansion. The air is damp, metallic. Every breath tastes of rust and dust. Shadows curl in the corners like they're alive. Somewhere water drips, steady, mocking. I shiver. My thin dress clings with sweat and soot. My body feels bruised everywhere, but it's the silence that weighs the most. No whispers. No quartet. Just me and the rattle of my chains. The lock clicks. Footsteps echo, measured, deliberate. He enters. Lorenzo. Black suit. A cut bleeding at his temple. Eyes colder than steel. Even like this, he's unnervingly beautiful. Beautiful and deadly. He doesn't sit. He doesn't pace. He just stands over me, still as stone. A predator watching his prey breathe. Who were they? His voice is low, razor sharp. I don't know. My voice cracks, small in the echoing cell. He crouches suddenly, bringing his face level with mine. The movement is fluid, controlled. Too close. You expect me to believe armed men just happen to attack my house the moment I bring you here? My throat closes. No, I swear I don't. His gaze doesn't shift. Unblinking. Cutting straight through me. Then explain the package. My breath hitches. The package. Memory slices sharp, the cardboard box on my doorstep. The excitement when I saw the sender, finally, the point shoes I'd been waiting weeks for. My future wrapped in tape and brown paper. But when I tore it open, satin didn't spill out. Stacks of money. A gun. Papers with names I didn't understand, words like shipment and contact scrawled in ink. I dropped it, heart hammering, skin crawling as if the box itself were toxic. Michael's voice fills my head.
Come.
Steady. Mail it back, Asa. Don't ask questions. I didn't want it. My words tumble out now, jagged and desperate. It was a mistake. I didn't order it. I didn't even keep it. I sent it back. His eyes sharpen, a knife pressing to my throat without touching me. Sent it to whom? The memory claws deeper. Michael's steady hand guiding mine across the label, writing the address with neat strokes. His voice in my ear, trust me.
It'll be fine.
My stomach twists, sour with dread. If Michael told me to send the box, then why am I chained here? I don't know, I whisper. His hand shoots forward, gripping my jaw so hard I wince. His face inches from mine, his breath dark with smoke and power. You're either the world's best liar, ballerina, he murmurs, or the stupidest pawn I've ever seen. Tears spill hot down my cheeks. I'm not lying. He studies me, not just my face. My fear, my trembling, my desperation. His eyes flicker, not soft, never soft, but something passes there.
Curiosity.
Intrigue. Something he doesn't want to name. And I realize then why it's him here, not a soldier, not an underboss. He doesn't trust anyone else to see what he sees. His fingers release suddenly, and I stumble back, wrists burning against the chains. Fine, he says coldly. Then you'll stay here, under my watch, until I decide which you are. He turns, striding toward the door. Wait. My voice breaks. Please, I have an audition I need to. The words taste bitter. My dreams spilling into this cell like a dying flame. I see the stage in my mind, the gleaming floorboards, the lights, the music waiting for me. The shoes I'll never lace. The leap I'll never land. My wings clipped. He stops. Looks back. A cruel smile ghosts across his lips. Your stage is here now. The door slams. Lock snaps shut. I collapse to my knees, sobs tearing through me. The chains rattle like applause from an audience I'll never face. I press my forehead to the cold stone, whispering his name like a prayer, like a curse. Michael, why did you tell me to send it? The memory of his hand over mine. The way he said, trust me. The way he didn't look surprised at what was inside. Relief and suspicion coil together, a cruel knot I can't untangle. The chains bite deeper as I clutch them. I don't know if I'm begging for rescue or realizing I've been delivered. Either way, Michael's name doesn't bring me peace anymore. Chapter 5. The Crowning. Asa's POV. It had been 4 days. 4 days of silence and chains. 4 days locked in the dark with no food, no water, only the gnaw of hunger and the sting of bruises to remind me I was still alive. I tried to remember the world outside, the stage lights, the music, the rhythm of a life that used to belong to me. But every time I reached for it, the memory dissolved, replaced by danger, and the image of guns pointed in my direction. I was spiraling into that emptiness again when the lock snapped. The door swung open. 2 guards stepped inside, shadows filling the narrow cell. The chains rattled as they advanced. On your feet, one barked. Their rough hands hauled me upright. I struggled, weak and trembling, but they ignored my protests. This wasn't a rescue. This was another display. The hall gleamed like a cathedral of sin, marble polished until it mirrored the chandeliers. Gold draped across the balconies. 100 men in tailored suits and jeweled women glittering like stars scattered across the dark. Tonight was the crowning. Whispers rippled through the crowd, laced with awe and envy. Tonight, Lorenzo De Luca was not just a mafia lord. Tonight, he was to be named head of the entire association, the man who would rule all others. And me? I was the warning, the trophy, The chained spectacle no one dared to look at too long. Silk clung to me, heavy, suffocating. My wrists ached inside the iron cuffs fastened to a post at the foot of the dais. I'd been dressed like I belonged, but the chains exposed the truth.
Property.
Prisoner. A ballerina displayed as a prize at a coronation. I kept my chin high anyway. Pride was all I had left. The music swelled. A hush spread across the crowd as Lorenzo stepped forward, black suit gleaming, tie abandoned, collar undone. He didn't need polish. Power dripped from him with every step. Even cruelty couldn't dull the fact that he was unnervingly beautiful, beautiful and deadly. His gaze swept the hall, cutting, measuring, claiming. Applause erupted, thunderous, rehearsed. Glasses clinked. Toasts rose. I felt every stare burn into me. Some curious, some pitiful, some mocking. The ballerina pet. He broke his vow. She won't last the week. Their whispers slashed deeper than the chains. Lorenzo mounted the dais. A silver crown, understated, lethal in its simplicity, waited on a velvet cushion. The old Don stepped forward to place it on his head, his voice carrying the weight of centuries of blood. Tonight, we recognize Lorenzo de Luca as head of the association. A roar rose.
Cheers. Clapping.
Stamping of feet. And then, the world detonated. A blast shattered the grand doors. The floor shook. Chandeliers crashed down, crystal shards slicing through silk and flesh alike. The crowd screamed as smoke billowed in, thick and choking. Gunfire erupted. Shouts of orders. Men scattered, women clutching jewels as if diamonds could shield them from bullets. I flinched back against my post, chains biting, ears ringing. My body trembled, but survival screamed louder than fear. My fingers clawed at the cuffs, skin splitting, wrists raw. If I stayed here, I'd die. Another explosion rattled the hall. Guards rushed past me, their attention consumed by the chaos. No one cared if I burned. No one cared if I escaped. I yanked harder. Metal scraped. Blood smeared my skin. Then movement. Through the chaos, a figure strode forward. Not stumbling like the fleeing guests. Not frantic like the guards. Deliberate.
Steady.
Broad shoulders. A stride I knew. That tilt of the head I'd traced 1,000 times. My heart stuttered.
No. Please no.
But then the fractured light caught his face, and the breath left me. Michael. My Michael. Not in denim and laughter. Not with coffee warming his hands or tenderness in his eyes. In black tactical gear. A rifle raised, his stance military precise. His jaw hard.
His eyes. God, his eyes.
Not love. Not recognition. Cold. Ruthless. A soldier's eyes. Michael. My voice ripped from me, hoarse, cracked. He heard me. His head turned, his gaze locking with mine. And for a heartbeat, the world stilled. I saw him. The man who kissed me in alleyways, who steadied me before auditions, who whispered, "Trust me." But then it was gone. His weapon shifted.
Not at me. Past me.
Straight at Lorenzo. No, my whisper splintered, swallowed by the roar of gunfire. Lorenzo still stood at the dais, unflinching in the chaos, barking orders in sharp Italian. His men formed a wall around him, guns blazing, loyal to the death. He hadn't seen Michael. Not yet. But I had.
I saw.
The man I trusted. The man who told me to mail the package back. Who said don't ask questions.
Who swore he believed in me.
He was here. And he was aiming to kill. My body shook so hard the cuffs rattled. I yanked against them, frantic, desperate. My wrists burned, chains tearing flesh. With one final jerk, the metal gave. I stumbled forward, free for the first time in days. And frozen. Because Michael's finger curled on the trigger. If I screamed, I exposed him. Lorenzo would see, and Michael would die before he took the shot. If I ran to him, threw myself into his path, maybe he'd remember me. Maybe he'd lower the gun. Or maybe I'd be the first body he dropped. If I stayed silent, I let him fire. Let Lorenzo fall. Let blood rewrite the balance of power. My chest ripped open. The man I loved. The man I feared. His eyes flickered just once. A shadow of the Michael I knew. The warmth that once belonged to me. Then it was gone. Soldier again. Stranger again. Michael, my voice broke. A hand seized my arm. I screamed, thrashing, but a guard shoved me back against the wall. His grip bruised, his voice a snarl. Stay down. I clawed, I fought, but he was stronger. Another joined him. Together they dragged me, half carried, half dragged, through the corridors. My chains jangled, wrists burning as blood streaked my gown. I twisted my head, desperate for one last look. Michael, his gun, his stare. The door slammed. Locks snapped. Darkness. I collapsed to the cold stone floor, sobs clawing at my throat. The sound of gunfire still echoed, muffled through the walls. And all I could hear, louder than the chaos outside, was the phantom click of Michael's finger pulling the trigger.